So Brenda, I notice that people ask you lots of questions, but I don't think they ask you the really tough questions. So I'd like to ask you some tough questions. Are you okay with that?
Okay.
So my first question is, what is it like knowing you are losing pieces of your brain?
I don't think there's actually any way to describe it. I think that's got to be the worst thing that happens to a person. I would much rather have something physical than mental. You know that your time is coming very quickly with this disease. You don't know how much time you have. You don't know from one day to the next what you will or will not be able to do. I can't think of anything worse.
What is it like knowing that you're dying as the person you and your children know, but your body is staying the same?
I think every day you have that thought go through your mind. As much as you try not to have it go through your mind, I think it does every day, where every day I look at my children and know that they don't see the mother that they always knew, that they see. It's like a stranger is invading the home. I don't think anybody that doesn't have this disease can appreciate what it does in the family unit. And I think that's the hardest part for me to deal with is the look on my children's face when they're looking at me and not seeing the person that they've always known and see the changes in me that is happening.
How do you feel knowing that one day the very people you love, your children, your grandchildren, that you will not recognize them and may well say or do things that are hurtful?
That's really difficult to accept the reality of what's happening with this disease and know. And it's really registered with me so much more now that I have a little granddaughter. When she totally accepts me as I am now, I look at her, and it's one thing for my children to, because they're older, but it's really difficult for me to look at my little granddaughter and know that she's going to see such a vast change in her grandmother, and I worry about how I can maintain a relationship with her. I can't imagine what's going to go through her mind, and I worry about what I would say or do in front of her to. I don't want her to remember her grandmother that way.
Most people with a terminal illness know when they're dying. You will have no idea you're dying. What do you want people to know?
I want people to know that, and to remember the good times and all of the things that I really did accomplish in life. I want them to remember me as I was and not who I've become. But I worry that that's something that they might not be able to do when the end stages of this disease has such collateral damage to my family. I worry about them not being able to draw on those memories and remember those things.
Brenda, what do you hope other people will gain from this song?
Well, initially I wanted the song just for my kids, but upon hearing the song, I realized what a wonderful tool it was for every family that has been touched by Alzheimer's, and that the song really wasn't just for me and my children. It was for every single family in the world that has been touched by Alzheimer's, because it will do for them the same as I hope that it does to my children, in the fact that it will evoke emotion, it will help with the healing process, it will make them realize that their loved ones' hearts have not been changed and that they will always be loved.
Getting hit with the diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease, to me, would be devastating. Tell me about what you think.
When I first received the diagnosis, I don't think and once it really sunk in with me, I don't think there was ever a worse time in my life. I think that had to be one of my blackest moments personally. And I really thought my life was over at that point in time. I don't think there was a darker time, and it was a lot of work going through the grieving process and accepting what was happening to me.
And then from that, then you started to see there was light at the end of the tunnel. You started to see gifts.
Yes, and once I realized that I could live in the moment and there was still many good memories and gifts to come my way, things have changed for me, and I've been more accepting with what is happening. And I don't fear death, I only fear the end of this disease.
So your biggest thing that you've learned from this disease is?
That it doesn't matter what happens to you in life, there's still brightness to every day, there's still wonderful things that can happen. And I have a wonderful little granddaughter, and my son is expecting twins, and what can be better than that?